Up next, Mr. Philip Cho, the General Counsel and Compliance at Siemens.
Good morning again. My name is Philip Cho. I'm the General Counsel and Compliance Officer of Siemens in Taiwan. It's my honor to be here to share how Siemens combat the corruption with you. First of all, in case you don't know what Siemens is doing, Siemens, the largest engineer company in Europe, was established in 1847 with 170 years of history filled with innovation and business successful story around the globe. And now our focus area is digitalization, automation, and electrification. Siemens has 350,000 employees around the globe and 63,000 employees in the region of Asia and Australia. Today is not Siemens shareholder meeting, so I'll skip all the figures which we can find in Siemens.com. Unfortunately, in the legal and compliance world, Siemens is not famous for its product or advanced technology, but for the enormous fine paid to Germany and the United States due to the violation of FCPA 10 years ago. To my understanding, our record pay is now still ranked as the top 1 or top 2 in the history. Back in November 2016, the Siemens Munich headquarters was searched by investigator of Munich prosecutor office, and the investigation was prompted by the whistleblower stating that Siemens manager had bribed a foreign customer and government officials to win a contract and orders. Several employees and one member of our managing board was arrested. After this investigation, Siemens cooperated with Germany and the United States to initiate global and internal investigation. After this investigation, we found that around 1.3 billion euro was paid to so-called business consultant for illegal purpose. 2 years later, in 2008, Siemens has the settlement with Germany and the United States. The proceeding in Germany was ended with a huge fine and the disgorgement of business profit around 400 million due to the management failure to prevention the violation of law. In Washington, D.C., Siemens pled guilty for knowingly failing and circumventing and failing to maintain an internal record, and also failed to follow the books and record of the FCPA. Concurrently, Siemens also settled civil action with U.S. Security and Exchange Commission for the civil settlement. Overall, including the compliance costs and the consumption fee, Siemens has suffered financial loss around 2.2 billion euro due to the crisis. You may wonder why Siemens has suffered huge damage. The root cause, which we found in the prosecutor's paper, saying that first, Siemens did not create efficient anti-corruption culture, nor the ethical values throughout the company. Second, ineffective internal control system. At that time, Siemens has its internal control system, but we only implement in form, not in substance. Siemens acknowledged this deficiency and decided to have a brand new start, and that's the reason why I'm here. I would like to have a quote with our former global CEO, Mr. Peter Losha. He said that during a crisis, you only have to do is make your company stronger and change the company culture. Siemens did use this opportunity to make a fundamental change. Today, Siemens is the different and the better company. Siemens compliance system has been ranked as the highest ranking in the category of compliance by Dow Jones Sustainability Index during 2013 to 2016. Siemens compliance now is in Siemens DNA. So you may wonder, what exactly is Siemens compliance system? For Siemens, integrity means we follow our company value, which are innovative, responsible, and excellent whenever we do business. The key element of integrity is compliance, which means adherence to the local law and our own internal regulation. We have zero tolerance for corruption or anything against law. Siemens compliance system has 3 pillars: prevent, detect, and respond. The key element of the detect is the whistleblower system, contains TELUS system and the company ombudsman. TELUS is a system for reporting the potential compliance case violation in a secure manner. It operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it offers in 13 languages. The report could be submitted online or using a telephone. Reports can also be anonymous. TELUS could be used by internal customer manager as well as external customer, supplier, and other stakeholders. TELUS is managed by independent suppliers. All the data was only submitted to Siemens compliance officer only. In addition to TELUS, we also have the company ombudsman, which is always available for report of potential compliance case. For your information, like in 2016, we received 675 reporting via TELUS or company ombudsman. The figure shows that this channel works well. Maybe we should further discuss how Siemens protect and even further encourage the whistleblower behavior in Siemens. We make it clear to our stakeholder that investigation process in principle, while we receive the report from whistleblower, and we follow it strictly. This will set the tone that the management from the top value and welcome the whistleblower behavior. We have trained and taught our colleagues that first, Siemens does not tolerate denunciation, such as falsely accusing unpopular individual of misconduct with the intention of causing them damage or expressing blanket criticism. Second, Siemens does not tolerate retaliation. That can be, which means it has an adverse effect, whether directly or indirectly, on reporters' employment relationship, earning potential, bonus payment, career development, or other work-related benefits. Third, Siemens expect our employee to report misconduct. We believe that employee doesn't owe loyalty to Siemens, to their superior, or to their colleague. But our employees are bound to act within their ethical framework made of their value and the value of Siemens. Retaliation itself is a compliant violation under Siemens policy, and Siemens compliance officer shall immediately take necessary action to protect the interests of the relevant employees. Then they will trigger, if we see retaliation, it will be triggered as a compliance case, and mitigation measure must be taken. These measures may include disciplinary action against the individual who are part of or has been taken part of the impermissible retaliation behavior. Siemens process for handling whistleblowing is defined clearly and regulated on a standardized way at a global level, irrespective of different cultural, legal framework, and so on. The principles must be followed. Presumption of innocence. We demonstrate fairness and respect toward the parties involved in the investigation, interview, and other direct contact. And we also avoid the presumption of fault or guilt on the part of party involved. Second, data protection. We disseminate the information during the interview solely on need-to-know basis. We maintain the confidentiality of the information gathered during the investigation and also protect the identity of the reporter, consistent with our company policy, internal regulation, and applicable law. Protection of the personal right. We follow company standard and applicable laws regarding to the protection of privacy right and also the process of collection of data. Employees are provided legal advice if the interview with the compliance officer might trigger the self-incriminating statement by the employees. Last but not least, right to be hearing. We grant the parties involved the right to be heard, allow them to hire a lawyer during the internal investigation. We believe that according to the clear consequence and the we believe that a clear consequence and a response play a majority part from being the rule preventing the rule from being breached in the first place. Siemens responds individually to each case and use the finding during the investigation for continuous improvement of the compliance program. In addition to the protection of the whistleblower, Siemens also believes that company culture, such as ownership culture and the speak-up culture, also plays a key role in encouraging whistleblower. So, very quickly, I would like to conclude my presentation today by showing how we encourage the employee to whistleblow, to blow the whistle. Always act as if you were your company. If you were the owner of the company, you definitely will not tolerate any misconduct that will damage or ruin your company. You have to speak up to stop that damage. And from time to time, we also have our employees ask themselves for questions whether this behavior is compliant or responsible. First, is it arising to Siemens? Second, is it consistent with Siemens' core value and mind? Third, is it legal? Fourth, is it something that I'm willing to help accountable for? Which means, if we translate in a simple way, if this decision will come out tomorrow morning, come out of newspaper on tomorrow morning, will you be proud to tell your husband or wife or kids that this is my decision? If the answer is yes, don't be worried, be confident, just speak up. So, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chow. That was really good to see. I mean, it's unfortunate that it took such a large scandal, in a sense, to change the processes, but to then be after that ranked so well and to see such good internal processes, I think from my background in research, it's wonderful to see that. And hopefully it's also a lesson for others, exactly what you ended on. These other things, the processes that you have in place that you're proud of, other things that are going to be released to the media, something you're going to be happy with. And it doesn't need, every organization doesn't need to have this scandal. If anything, now they need to look at Siemens standard and hopefully replicate that in a positive way. So thank you very much. Up next, we have Ms. Chen from the Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company.
Dr. Dodo, panelists, and ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor to be here and join this elite panel to discuss this important topic that is critical to any organization that wants to fight against internal fraud. Because I'm very much a lawyer, so I would like to make a quick disclaimer that the opinion expressed during this meeting reflect my personal view only, and not necessarily those of my employer. This is the agenda of my sharing today. I will quickly walk through some reason why whistleblowers and empowering them is important, and why it is especially important in Asia Pacific region. And I would also like to explore why the best whistleblower candidate, which is the employee, reluctant to use internal whistleblowing channel. And at the end of my presentation, I would like to share with you TSMC's whistleblower compliance program. Okay, because the whistleblower program vary basically from company to company. Some program works very well, does not guarantee its success in other companies. So the program must be company specific. With that, I would like to introduce a little bit of TSMC. Some of you might not be very familiar with the company. TSMC is a listed company in Taiwan as well as in New York Stock Exchange. It is the largest foundry, semiconductor foundry in the world. Its market capitalization as of today is about $180 billion US, and its revenue in last year is about $30 billion US. And it's an employer of about 47,000 employees. Most of them are in Taiwan. And in TSMC, we strive for business sustainability. So it has been selected as a component of Dow Jones Sustainability Indices for 16 consecutive years. Okay, so why empowering whistleblowers is important? This is a very simple question. But I also think that the answer is very straightforward. I think people now recognize tips as the most effective way to expose fraud. As you can see from this diagram, 40% of fraud cases were actually exposed by tips. And having this knowledge, more and more companies are equipping themselves with whistleblower program or like hotlines. And the study shows that over 60% of the company in Asia Pacific region has hotline or other reporting channel. It's a remarkable increase from 2010. And now we know the tips are important, and we also have the necessary infrastructure to receive the tips. So naturally, the focus is now how do we empowering whistleblower and encourage them to speak up. And I argue that this is especially important in Asia Pacific because corruption, as Mr. Thomas just mentioned, is still the most common type of fraud in Asia Pacific region. The table here says just that. And also a survey shows that 63% of the surveyees in the Asia Pacific region believe corruption happens widely in their economy. So yes, corruption is the most common type of fraud in Asia Pacific. And corruption is hard to be detected by without tips from whistleblowers, especially when the fraud perpetrators are someone at the very high level of the company organization. And who is the best whistleblower candidate? I mean, the answer is very straightforward. It's employees, right? So actually, there's a survey shows that 69% of the employees in Asia Pacific region have information or concern about the misconduct in their company. So they are privy to those inside information. They apparently know what's going on within the company. but are they willing to speak up? Unfortunately, the study shows only 33% of the potential whistleblower are willing to report an ethical behavior they have seen. And only 27% of potential whistleblower would rather would opt to use the internal reporting channel, for example, hotline, to report their concern. And the next number is even more alarming because it says about 40% of potential whistleblower would choose to bypass the internal channels and report directly to the law enforcement agency or just go directly to the media. I say it's especially alarming because as a compliance professional, you know that if whistleblower go skip or bypass the internal channel, the company will miss the best opportunity to first figure out what was going on and what went wrong in the company and try to fix the problem. And even worse, having the whistleblower going directly to the law enforcement agency or media actually could create greater harm in terms of finance and reputation. So, as a compliance professional, compliance professional want whistleblower to report internally. But that leads us to the next question. Why they are reluctant to use the internal channel? I think there are 3 issues. I did a little alteration in my presentation slide. So I think the first issue here is trust or lack of it. Lack of trust. They are fear that they might be retaliated. They fear that their reporting will not be kept confidential. Their identity may be leaked, and also they are not sure if their report will be really followed through or really bring some justifiable outcome and also make a change to the company. So that could be the first reason, and the second reason is, maybe cultural reason, right? Because in Asia, maybe you can all appreciate that Asian culture tend to emphasize loyalty, submission, and team spirits, and despises snitches. But I also want to stress that actually, while maybe it's right that exposing fraud may not be historically appreciated in Asian culture, but actually the effort to eliminate corruption are beginning to take hold in Asia, and things are definitely changed for better. And the third issue could be as simple as awareness issue. The employee may not know that there are whistleblowing channels that they can use, and they may not know that the company commit not to retaliate against whistleblower. And sometimes the employee just doesn't know, if the company really encourage whistleblowers. So as a compliance professional, you need to constantly remind your employees that, we want you to speak up. We want you to know that you are protected if you decide to speak up. So with all these issues in mind, let's look quickly at TSMC's whistleblower program. So, at TSMC, we're endeavored to create a first-class whistleblower program. So, in addition to reporting to your supervisor, or so-called the up-the-line report, we also provide multiple reporting channels. And although it will make our job a lot easier if you just let us know your identity, but if you choose to stay anonymous, it's allowed. Anonymous complaint will be assessed and investigated. And we also have strong non-retaliation commitment, and we incorporate that commitment in various policy languages. We use simple language to let our employees know that we will uphold to our commitment. Through the policies, we're trying to deliver the message like hey, we know that it takes a lot of courage to speak up when corruption is suspected, but do not fear. You're protected under the company's policy, and as long as your reports are made in good faith, and even if after investigation it turned out to be without merit. So that's our non-retaliation commitment. And we also design and implement various programs to promote our employees' awareness and confidence level on the whistleblowing program. So first, we educate our employee through all kinds of training. Like, as you can see here, this is our annual employee training. And here, as you can see, reporting channels and whistleblowing rights is one of the key subjects in our annual training. And we not only train our employee, we also, during the year, we also train at the time that they become an employee. We actually have the whistleblower training in our employee orientation. And we have a strong favoritism to face-to-face training. So every year we communicate in person with thousands of our employees to make sure they catch our message. And also we have a practice that we publish our disciplinary action. So through the publication, we not only send a strong signal to our employees that the company really take ethics violation seriously. We also send a signal to potential whistleblower that your complaint will make a difference, and we do follow up with your complaint. And we also do a lot of promotions through different means. So this is the poster that we used in 2016 to promote our whistleblower program. The topic, as you can say, do you blow the whistle? And also here we explain to them, what is whistleblower, how do you make a report, and are you protected? Of course, the answer is yes, right? So this is the poster we send to every employee within the company. And also, we are fortunate to have support from our top management. As you can know, as a compliance professionals, when it comes to building a solid compliance program, the tone at the top is never a cliche. Actually, when an employee send a report or complaint through our reporting channels, it will either go directly to the chairman of our audit committee, or it will go to an ombudsman who is the corporate VP. And we also have PSMC also has an ethics committee that is comprised of senior executives. And the committee is in charge of overseeing the fraud investigation, provide guidance to awareness promotion, and also make determination on ethics violation cases. And last but certainly not the least, we do not ignore other possible key source of tips, such as our contractor, our vendors, because more than 40% of the tips came from external whistleblower. So we don't ignore that, and we communicate with them. Again, we prefer face-to-face communication. So in 2016 and 2015, we communicate face-to-face with more than 700 vendors each year. We are happy to have Mr. Zhou join our participate in our training program. So and here is our training provided to our employee. This is a snapshot from our CSR report, so it's all public information. If you're interested in knowing more, feel free to go on our webpage and have a look at our CSR report. Okay, and this page I want to show you that our efforts do pay off. In the past 3 years, from 2014 to 2016, we have seen a steady increase of the complaint filing through the reporting channels. And if you look at the numbers, in 2014, it's almost doubled when it's 2016. So we definitely raise our either employee or our other stakeholders' attention. And but I want to make it clear that even though we have about more than 100 complaints, they are not all about ethic violations. In fact, most of them are like HR issues, like the food in the cafeteria being too salty or the body odor of your neighbor. Oh, sorry, I make it up. But actually, only a few of them are related to ethic violations. But still, we welcome all kinds of complaints and we follow through. And during the process, we also noticed that our whistleblower has become more cooperative. They are more willing to provide information. They are even more forthright in some of the investigations. So we also welcome that. And in TSMC, we always embrace the mindset of non-complacency. We know there's always room for improvement. So that's why I'm here, not only to share my experience, but also to learn from all of you. So I'm looking forward to your valuable input. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Cheng. I also reiterate that the number of reports does not mean that that's many ethical violations that are going on. Same with Siemens as well, with the number that they had there. It's about the training and awareness, and that's one of the very key things that's coming out as well in Australia and with our organisations, is you need your employees to be aware that these processes exist, and without posters that direct them to what is a complaint or training for them to understand what a violation of conduct is, they're not going to know that, and then they're not going to come forward as well. So training really is key in the evaluation there. And I think as well it kind of makes it a norm then afterwards. So if it's encouraged for more people to come forward, even if it is about complaining about the level of salt in the criteria in the cafeteria, it then sort of encourages though for people to come forward with what is going on within the organisation that you're not happy with, and that might be everything from lunch problems, but then up to, well, I believe that there's a certain level of corruption going on. So making it almost a norm within the organisation is a key factor here.